Here at Gossip Talk Shows, find your own voice, lead from within. With me today, I have Angie Simmons. Angie, how are you doing?
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, everyone. I'm fantastic. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. So today we are talking about positive reinforcement is the key to success. Angie, would you like to explain the topic or would you like me to explain?
No, I can explain. My phone's, you said you turned your phone off. Mine's just beeped at me, so I'm just turning it down so I can't hear it, so I don't get distracted. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this topic, and particular reason is because most people beat themselves up because they haven't achieved something, or or they think they've failed at something. And for me, how we treat ourselves is paramount to our success. So when we're positive, that word, I can't even say it, positively reinforcing ourselves, not just ourselves, but other people in your life as well. We treat our children and we say, oh, well done, and we give them something, or praise, or a present, or something. Like a dog, like a dog, I'm always praising Pudding if he sits down and or behaves and he gets a little treat and things. But we forget about ourselves, and we forget about the little small daily steps that we're actually taking towards what we achieve, and we don't celebrate them. What we actually do is go, oh, well, I haven't done that yet. Like, for instance, myself, I went on a little bit of we all do it. I went in a little bit of a downward spiral because I haven't achieved something that I wanted to achieve by now. And it was like, well, actually, Ange, let's have a look. Let's take a step back and look at what you've done towards what you want to achieve. Stop looking at the things that you've not yet completed and not done. Look at the stuff that you have done. And I just thought it's a really important topic for people to, for us to talk about, to try and help other people, celebrate themselves, really, because we don't celebrate ourselves enough. So that's why I wanted to talk about it.
I love that, Angie. I think we have to celebrate more. I've learned the hard way that life is not about achieving. When I achieve a little bit, I have to stop and actually acknowledge my achievement, no matter how small they are. But before, I used to be on the go, always, all the time. I want to achieve something. And when I want to achieve something, I will not celebrate. If I do celebrate, it will be for a short moment of time. But now I do celebrate. I celebrate all my winnings every single day. I celebrate my children when they go to school, they achieve something. I celebrate them. I have even taught them to celebrate themselves as well. Or sometimes my daughter will come to school and say, you know what, I got these results, but it's not good enough for me. It's a disgrace. And I'll be like, in order for you to appreciate it, for God to bless you, you have to appreciate that little thing that you have in your life. And once you appreciate that, you have the courage to actually evaluate things. Children, whenever they get something good, they always want more. But as parents, we have to teach them to say, okay, whatever you achieve, celebrate it and then get more. But if you are parents that you don't know how to celebrate the little things, then that will be a problem as well. So I've learned the hard way that I need to celebrate even just the little things. I celebrate, and when I celebrate, I write gratitude, and I appreciate in my heart. I appreciate when anything comes. I look back and I'm like, I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful that I was able to achieve these things. And some people, they are in the grave, not being able to achieve anything, or not being able to celebrate this day that where the day I'm celebrating. So I'm like, I just have to thank God that I am alive. And even getting up in the morning, Angie, when you get up in the morning, like today, you're saying your daughter, she has a cold. My daughter has a cold as well. So when you get up in the morning and feeling good, it's cause for celebration, because you never know. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Over
So
to you.
like me, you know, you're just going on in the morning. The fact is, how many of us celebrate and recognize and say thank you that we've opened our eyes and we can see? But the fact that we've opened our eyes, that's something to celebrate. The fact that we can see, there's people out there that can't see. The fact that we can breathe, there's people on ventilators that can hardly breathe. The fact that we've got feet, there's people that can't walk. And it's those little things, appreciation, gratitude, like you just said, Nonsa, goes an absolute long way, massively. I used to, yeah, that this morning, waking up and knowing that Summer is, you know, she's really poorly. She came home last night and I was on a meeting, and as soon as she came in, I looked at her, and the lady, she knew straight away. She went, "It's okay, Ange, you've got to go." And I was like, "Can we rearrange?" She went, "Not a problem." Straight away. And I was like, "Thank you so much for being understanding." Most people have just been like, "All right, yeah, see you soon." But it was, no, thank you. But also it was like, well, thank you to me, because I'm now self-employed and I haven't got a boss to go and ask if I can go home. I actually work at home and I don't have to ask the boss if I can time out, because I'm my own boss. So it's little things like that appreciation and that recognition of yourself. But yeah, this morning I woke up and I was sort of like, you know, I do my morning gratitude, I do my evening gratitude, I do gratitude throughout the day, of all the experiences, and sometimes they can be hard, but I'm grateful for that, because if you're not learning, you're not growing. So for me, you know, it's always thank you for the challenge or thank you for the blessing. But yeah, definitely, darling, you know, waking up this morning and thinking about Summer being poorly, and I straight away was like, well, thank you that I've got my health, that I'm okay, that I'm not ill, and I get the opportunity to now look after and care for my daughter. Thank you. So it goes a long way, massively. But we forget those, like you mentioned earlier, those small daily steps and small things, because they compound into the results that, you know, you want to achieve. But what I found, I do it now all the time, but I never used to. Like you said, I'd be pushing myself. No, I need to get more. And yes, okay, that's the dopamine hit. That's ingrained in us, not only by from when we're a child and stuff, but it's also part of our bodily system, that we need that dopamine hit so we can go and do something else, and it's pleasurable. It's a brilliant feeling. So yeah, I like that feeling. You're all happy and jumping on. But sometimes those little steps, you're not happy as such. You don't see the little steps. But it's important to appreciate every single one. And then when you actually do achieve something, celebrate yourself. Like for me, I'm going to, once I've done this big thing that I've got to get done, I'm going to book a spa day. How many of us actually celebrate and do that stuff instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to book a spa day anyway? I actually make myself achieve a certain thing before I actually treat myself. I treat my daughter and my dog better than I treat me sometimes, but that's not good. I'm a lot better than I used to be, for sure. But it's that, you know, when you treat yourself, it encourages you to keep going. So I will turn around. I remember when I was saving up for the bathroom, and it took some saving up to get that bathroom done. And what I decided to do was save an extra little pot of money, and I wasn't allowed to touch that pot of money until I had my bathroom done. And then I went and bought all these little trinkets for my bathroom. So not only was I, yes, I finally got a bathroom that I love, you know, a walk-in shower rather than a 1950s bathroom, you know. And then I was able to go and buy the little trinkets for it to make it even more special. I've got like this lotus flower that my friend brought me for Christmas, and it's a joss stick holder. And I was like, I can't use that. And she went, why? I bought it you. I went, because it's white and it's beautiful and I don't want to dirty it. And she was like, you can't say you're never going to use it. And I was like, no, I'm going to save that. And what I did then do was, I've got 4 Love Heart tea light holders, and I've put the lotus flower in the center, and they're sat on my worktop at one of my units in my bathroom, and it looks beautiful. I'll never use it as what it's meant to be used for, but because it's so beautiful and it's all about, you know, the lotus flower, which I love. So yeah, it's making sure you reward yourself every little step, even if it's, I've done 2 hours worth of work towards my goal. Now I'm going to sit down and have a cup of tea, and it's not procrastination. So you don't feel bad about it. It's actually rewarding yourself. I hope that makes sense.
Angie, because you know, celebrating involves us increasing our motivation, and it also helps us to be aware of our well-being as well, and it helps us with our productivity, to increase our productivity. If we don't celebrate ourselves, our productivity will be very, very low, because whatever we do, there is no meaning to it. So when you learn to celebrate, like you're talking about your bathroom, in the end, when the bathroom was finished, you felt that it's so good, and you had to go and do something and celebrate that hard work, because it is hard work, the thoughts that goes into it, and just sitting down and thinking what kind of bathroom you want, the color of the bathroom, and making phone calls, making sure that you have the right people, doing financial transition, transferring money, paying people, make sure, and the whole thing, make sure it's successful. And that is hard work, but some people wouldn't see it. When they finish that, they just move on to a different task, instead of just sitting down and having that gratitude, and just being thankful for themselves for what they have done. They don't do that. So it's very, very important to actually be thankful, and to for achieving the goals, even if you didn't get the results that you want. The courage to actually do something is what we are celebrating. We are not celebrating because we got the positive results. Even if it's negative results, we still celebrate because you had the courage to take the step forward and do the things that you love to do. If you don't get the results that you want, it's fine, it's okay, but still celebrate that moment of having the courage to go for what you want, and sitting down, creating hobbies, and just writing everything that you want, and reinforcing that positive attitude into your life. I think is awesome. And also, we have to actually celebrate like the children. I seen, like, when we have kids, like you have children, when the children, they go and do the activities. You know, my daughter, we did the finals last Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the semi-finals, she was on the semi-finals for
okay.
So they dance, and then in one dance, she didn't go through. The first dance, she didn't go through. So I said to her, listen, there's lots of you in this category. So somebody has to win, somebody don't have to go through. So what you need to do is you need to know that you are good at what you do. But if the examiner does not see you being a good person and you dancing really good, it's not your problem. So, but it's in you. So she's a good dancer. Her footwork is really, really awesome. So then she was like, yes, I'm not upset, mommy, I'm fine. So by just talking to her, and then she went back on stage when they were doing singing and when they were doing dancing, she went through to her other dances because I said to her, you just got to deliver. That's all you got to do. You do your best.
Do your
You
best.
don't
That's all
do
you can
things.
do.
Yeah, you don't do things for somebody to say you are number one. You have to know yourself that I am number one, regardless of what you say. So she just went in and just did her best. And she came out and she was, I think that was my best dance I have ever done. I was like, awesome.
Yay!
So yeah, and all these children, they dance so beautiful, but somebody has to lose. There's got to be a loser.
Absolutely, there is.
Yeah, it's like you hear at Ngozi talk shows when we're broadcasting on YouTube and stuff. We have to acknowledge ourselves that this is success. We have to give ourselves the rewards to say, you know what, we've been here for an hour, we've done what we've got to do, and now go and do other things, clients, deal with clients, and just give ourselves that gratitude, not to wait for somebody to comment and then we feel good about it. We have to feel good about what we do.
Celebrating we've shown up.
Yeah, because somebody else didn't show up to the activities. They didn't feel good. They didn't feel they wanted to do them. So they decided, I am going to do it, but we showed up. So for those reasons, we give ourselves thumbs up.
Pat on the back. But yeah, I love how you said that about your daughter. I've had this similar sort of thing, as you know. Summer's going for all her auditions at the moment, and she's been for 3. She's got 2 more. And I know that one of them, she was devastated because she knew that she hadn't got through. She hadn't been brought through for the interview. But then some of the other people that she met there had been told within a couple of hours or a day or so that they hadn't got, they'd not been accepted. And I think my daughter she was waiting about 4 days. And I said to her, you don't know what that means. And she's like, oh, I definitely not got through. I've definitely not. I said, you don't know that. The fact that it's taken them 4 days up to now, they might be still considering you don't know. I says, but the thing, and she said to me, when I was, she says, I remember, Mum, when I went for my brand new Mini, which was I got it in, when did I get that? I can't remember now. I think it was about four years ago. And, it was through a network marketing company. And, you got yourself a brand new Mini, but you had to get to a certain stage. And she says, I remember all the no's that you went through, Mum. I remember how hard you worked to get that Mini. And when we got that Mini, I says, right, we're going to London. We're going first class on the train. We're going to go for lunch. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we really celebrated. And when we got home, we went for a meal. And, it wasn't just getting the Mini. It was the fact that we got to spend the day together. She'd been in London for an entire 2 weeks as well on the West End. So I'd not seen her for 2 weeks. So for me to turn up and say, guess what, we've got the Mini, was even more special. But she said to me, she says, I remember all the times you got through the nose and how deflated you was getting at some point, because I'd worked really hard. And I get to, like we all do it. Yeah, we go to a certain level, we can take 2 steps forward, and next one we've gone 10 steps backwards. And you're like, am I ever going to get there? But you will, as long as you keep taking those steps forward. Don't, like you said earlier about, the disappointments, they're there, they're hurdles. Learn how to jump over them rather than letting them, you're flat on your face. But I think that's very important, like you were saying to your daughter, that we're not always going to win. We're not always going to be the best. There's always somebody better. It's about celebrating you for your unique self and how incredible you are. When we think about the dynamics of you being born, that's something to celebrate. It took one sperm out of God knows how many for you to be born. So when you look at the dynamics of that, you should be celebrating your life every single day and celebrate how unique you are, because nobody Nobody is the same. We're all different. So I love when you said that to your daughter. I think that's beautiful.
We are all different. For me, I don't wait for somebody to tell me that I'm how good I am. I always appreciate the time that I put to actually make that decision. And I know that if I'm not good enough, I'm learning every single day. I know that I'm learning. I know that I'm gonna, whatever I do today, tomorrow is going to be different. So I just have to give myself credit. And that's why I just tell my daughter that, you know what, when you actually, because dancing and acting is a cruel industry.
Yes.
And when a cruel industry, it means you use your emotions. Everything that you do, you use your emotions. You go on stage. If you're frustrated, that frustration, put it on stage. I always say, put it on stage so that if you win the audience can enjoy what you're feeling, just the frustration and the disappointment. Just go on stage, and just means you do good if you go on stage. And even once I left her CD behind. I don't know what I was thinking. She was in the final, because I teach her that life is not about somebody telling you that you're number one. You tell yourself that you're number one. So when they play the music, she got confused. She was like, what is going on? She was like, and I was like, she looked at me. I was like, wrong music. And she was like, okay, if you let me dance on stage, I know the dance very well. I know the music in my head, so I can dance the dance to the finish. So she just danced the dance to the finish. And for me, that's when I realized actually the judges, after they called them backstage and said, you know what? That's what professional means that when mistakes happen, you just get on with it. And they were like, you go further in life when it comes to the acting industry and stuff. And that's what I enforce with my children, that you have to understand the key to success is you to create the habits and believe in those habits that you create. And even sometimes you don't get the results that you want. We don't have control when it comes to life. We don't have control. So it does not mean you're not good. It means you just have to just put yourself out there and do what you can do. Do your best. That's what I do. And that's what creates norms. I just do my best.
Yeah,
if I have to do some research, I'll do some research. Do my best. There's nothing else I can do. And I just leave it to God to bring me blessings. I just do what I can and create the habits and do whatever is necessary to actually get to where I need to be. But I have to celebrate my winnings, and I celebrate my friends as well, because it's important to celebrate other people. If somebody tells you the good news, if your life is not going well, then there's no point in actually moping about and wishing that it was you or wishing their life story. I always say to my friends, my story is unique, it's individual. So if they have their winnings, I'm happy to celebrate them. And I'm happy to ask, what are they doing different to get the results that they are getting? And I'm happy to share my tips on how I do things differently to get the things that I'm getting. So life is beautiful. It becomes beautiful when you actually know how to use the psychology. Everything we do, like Tony Robbins says, 90%, 80% is psychology. You just have to know how to play the game of life.
Yes. I love how you said that about celebrating other people, because it's so important to celebrate other people. It doesn't matter if, our lives are going through turmoil or whatever I've had it before where I'm so excited about something that I've achieved and I don't want to speak to somebody because I'm either going to get told that I'm boasting or I'm big-headed, which, I've had that before.
Why?
But the mentality of the mining village sometimes, that I was I was brought up as a child where you don't talk, you don't celebrate, you don't talk about yourself in that way. You just sound big-headed. And even though I'm about to turn 50, it's amazing how many people still do it, and they teach their children to do it. And it's like, no, that's wrong. You know, for me, when somebody comes to me, and even if I'm going through whatever I'm going through, and they've done something that they're really chuffed about, I spend time celebrating them and going, wow, that's incredible. Well done, you. That's amazing. Oh, my life's crap. I don't do any of that. I'm in the moment with them because they deserve to be on that little podium of their own, you know, to celebrate what they've achieved, rather than pulling them back down to my world if I'm feeling like, ugh. Does that make sense? I think sometimes, or you get the other people, so you can, like I say, I call them mood hoovers, that when you're trying to be happy, you know, when you're in a happy state, and then all of a sudden you're around certain people and you feel all tired and drained, and, you know, I call them mood hoovers or energy vampires, whichever way you want to call them. But, you know, you leave them so deflated that you're like, I just need a wash and get rid of all this there. But then you've got the other people as well, when you're celebrating something and you're like, yeah, I've done this and I'm really chuffed and blah, blah, blah. And then they go, oh, yeah, me too. You're like, oh. And after a while, it's like they need to have achieved something more. If that makes, you know, and so for me, one of the keys, you know, we're talking about positive reinforcements for like keys to success. What you've just said, celebrate that person, found out more about them, how they're feeling, and how the hell they did it. Because if you want to achieve what that person's achieved, why not ask them, instead of either draining their energy or saying, yeah, I'm just as good, when actually you're not, and that's okay. So yeah, I thought that was really a really key point that you just mentioned there, about celebrating others, not just yourself. So yeah, love that one, Nomsa.
Yeah, you know, I was going to comment about your daughter waiting for the news after the audition. Did she get through?
No.
You said they took 4 days to tell her the results.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, the good thing is we have to. Have you seen the book Go for No?
Oh, I've read it several times over. I was reading it when I was going for that mini.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book. It makes you realize that, you know, life is not about yes, 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 yes. And you have to get loads of no in order for you to actually get to where you need to go. And it's like when you're doing something, you got to have all these rejections and rejections. Me, when I get rejected, I don't really mop around rejection. I've learned to actually, if somebody rejects me or I go and apply for a job, when I tried to do 9 to 5, it didn't work out well. So
I hear that one.
Yep, 9 to 5, it does not work well with me. Unless if I can do an independent job where I become my own boss and I manage myself or I manage people, I can be okay. I don't know. But I don't know. You know, these people that works 9 to 5 is all about biking and getting out at each other and all those things. About me, I don't do that. I once asked my manager, actually, I called my manager and her boss, and I was like, this is a messed up industry. It's messed up. This place is messed up. Can't you all just be nice? These people are crying. I was like, I don't understand it. Honestly, I called her and her boss. I wrote to her boss and I was like, these people, they are unhappy. Can't you just make them happy? Do something to really help them be happy. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like with my company, I wouldn't want to be work with somebody. I like to force a positive reinforcement instead of for me to succeed, and the people that I work with make sure that they are happy. Because if they are not happy, but unfortunately, I can't make everybody happy. They have to make themselves happy. I can look after them. I can give them a first class love, but at the end of the day is for them to make sure that they look after themselves and they appreciate, because at the end of the day, like you come here to Ngozi talk shows, Angie, you have to be the one that sees the good work that you do. Just before I say I appreciate you, you have to be the one that, you know what, I value myself for the time that I put at Ngozi talk shows, the time that I put to actually add value to my audience. You have to be the one that values you. Before me, I can say, you know what, you are appreciated. And for that to get through to your heart and bring success to you so that you can develop more, you have to be the one that sees the success. But some people, they will want somebody else to tell them how good they are. If people are not telling them how good they are, they don't see good in them. It's like we are here on social media. Somebody might come and put a different comment, a comment that we might not like it. I think somebody first, when we started, Shirini, she was talking about something and we all got into the conversation. And then Facebook, somebody went on Facebook and reported that it's a copyright content, but that was based on Shireen's content actually. So I had to fight on Shireen's behalf and say, no, that is not true. But then somebody's messaged me saying, yeah, people are jealous. Sometimes they will do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The more successful you get, the more haters you get, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so going on that, so when somebody's making nasty comments or stuff like that, be grateful for them, because it shows that somebody is looking at you in that sense of, oh, and it's jealousy, isn't it? And people want to pull you down to their level. Oh, I love that. Sorry, I've just interrupted you. You're on mute, my darling. No,
how do you overcome challenges with positive reinforcement, Angie?
How do I overcome challenges with reinforcement? Wow.
Yeah.
Great question. Right. So challenges. I sit and I think about what I want to achieve. That is my end goal. So, as we said earlier, and when you was going on about the book Go For Now, there's another great book. If people have not read it, it's Who's Moved My Cheese? That is an awesome book. So what I do is I focus on what I want to achieve. So these, we all know that the path to success, most people think it just goes like that. No, it does not. It goes all over the place. So I focus on my end goal, because if you focus on, say, for instance, you're driving a car and you see a wall, if you focus on that wall, you're going to hit it. So I don't focus on the nasty stuff that's going off. I focus on where I want to go. And I show my gratitude for that challenge, because everything you go through, you learn from, so you're growing. Now, obviously, when I was at my worst, when I was popping the antidepressant like Smarties, drinking like a fish, anything to shut this up, I wasn't that person. I was hateful. I was angry. I was jealous. I was all the negative words you could think of. But deep down in my heart, all I wanted was change. That was my focus. I just want this to change. I need to get out of this. All I want is to feel loved. But going back to what you said, I needed to love myself first. Because even though people were telling me that they loved me, I didn't hear it, because I didn't believe it. They're just saying it to make me feel better. But now I do love myself and I'm grateful for myself. I hear it a lot. I don't need it, but I like it. But yeah, what I do, my thing is I focus on my end goal and I say thank you for the lessons because I'm learning something. You was talking earlier about that inside feeling. It has to be intrinsic, which is inside. The outward stuff is great, but it's short-lived. So for me, when I'm going through a challenge, I will do my journaling, be grateful, focus on my end goal, and celebrate myself on a regular basis. I can do this. I can do this. So using affirmations, positive affirmations, because 90% of the stuff that we tell ourselves is negative. So yeah, that's how I deal with my challenges. I don't brush them off because they're there. You can't brush them off. Be in the moment, figure out what I'm learning from it, and move on and focus on where I want to go. How about you, Nomsa?
I love that, Angie, when you say you focus on your inner wood, because the outer wood is short-lived. And that is true. I used to do that. I used to spend almost 3 hours getting ready. When I'm going out, I would just spend that time getting dressed, making sure that my hair is beautiful, makeup, everything, making sure my nails, my handbag matches my shoes, my everything, every detail. I would just make sure every detail is matched to every detail. And when I walk outside, I will make sure that I didn't step in the mud. Honestly, oh yes, I'll make sure that I didn't step in the mud, honey. When everybody else, they see me go out, they'll be like, wow, she looks awesome. But inside, I was broken. Honestly, I was broken. And I'm sure there's someone in the audience that has actually gone through that, where you focus on your outer world and you ignore your inner world. And you know what? When my relationship fell apart, I was like, I don't understand. This is the life that I asked for, but this life is falling apart. But why? And then I kept asking. And in the end, because I was doing personal development, I'm praying, and then I'm hearing this voice from God saying, Nomsa, you asked me everything that you wanted, I gave it to you. But you didn't have the skill. You didn't bother to actually learn the skills of how are you gonna keep this man? How are you gonna this life that you want, how are you gonna maintain it moving forward? And that's why this life is falling apart. And in that day, that moment, I was like, I'm no longer going to blame myself. I'm no longer going to blame my ex. I'm no longer going to blame anyone around me. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I do positive reinforcement for me to succeed. It was for me to look at the things, the ending. What do I want? And for me to get there, what are the tools and the skills that I need? So I needed to cut down on some makeup. Yes. Honestly, I don't wear no makeup anymore. Honestly, I had to change things. I had to cut down on things. Even now, like sometimes when I go to church, people always say, Nomsa, you look good. I'm like, I'm loving this, but I'm spending half an hour getting dressed. I can spend time with what I wear. I spend time making sure that I look good. But I spend time meditating. I spend time praying. I spend time writing my journal. I spend time reading. I spend time researching. I'm no longer spending 3 hours looking at, because when I meditate, when I listen to the music, when I do the things that I love to do, looking at my inner world, when I'm faced with challenges, like you say, you look at the ending in mind, me, I look within myself. And when I look within myself, it helps me to actually create new beliefs that can take me to where I need to go, and change my perceptions about life, and also just not comparing my life with anybody, but just analyze my life. Where is it? Where do I need to take it? What do I need to take for my life to get there? So I have to write things down, or sometimes I memorize things and I get to work. And to be honest, the only thing that I don't really care is what people think about me. As long I'm not hurting anyone, I know that I'm a lovely person. I care about my friends, I care about my family, and I care about myself. But when I make mistakes, I'm not afraid to ask, because I'm worried about people that they're gonna think that I'm not good enough, or they're gonna think less of me. I don't really care about those things anymore. But those were the things that holds me back before. Caring about, if I ask Angie now, how do I do this? Angie is gonna think different of me, or we don't need to know everything.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So for me, those are the things that carry me through.
Yeah.
Knowing that wherever I need to go, I am the creator of my life.
Absolutely.
And also being the creator of my life, it means that I'm allowed to make mistakes. It means that I am allowed to I'm allowed to fail.
Yeah.
It's success. If I
Exactly.
fail, I'm learning from those things. So I'm allowed to actually be normal. Because when I'm perfect, Angie, what does that mean? It means I'm not normal.
You're not trying.
Yeah.
You know, when you said that thing about failure, I don't see it as failure, because if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
And I loved as well, you know, when you asked about how I deal with issues, that yes, I focus on what I want to think, so I'll keep pushing towards it. But like you, I get quiet a hell of a lot now. I never used to. I hadn't got the time to sit there and journal or meditate. I've got this to do, I've got that to do. And when you're busy, you're busy mind, busy, you don't see what you're learning. So like you, I spend more time now getting quiet than I ever have done. And I've moved further forward than I ever have done.
Yeah.
It's crazy, because we're told, get busy, run around, you'll eventually get there. But you're not. You end up tripping yourself up and falling on your face quite a few times. And we still do. As I say, I don't call them failures. If I fall down, trip up and fall on my face, okay, what did I learn? Right, get back up, let's go. But I get quiet, and it's the most powerful thing that you can do, to listen to those thoughts. And you know, with journaling, the amount of times I speak to people when I talk about my journal, oh, I haven't got time for that. And I'm like, the amount of people I hear say that they haven't got time to invest in themselves. But by investing in yourself, it's the best investment you can make. We invest in a car to make sure that the car's okay. If we don't, it might break down, it might crash, a wheel might fall off. But then we forget about ourselves. But this vehicle is non-replaceable. So why the heck are we not investing in ourselves? It's intrinsic, it's inside.
Yes.
We have to look after all this. It is the key to success. This.
What's on the inside of me is greater than what's on the outside. If you didn't make me, you cannot define me. That is my slogan.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. What's on the inside of me is greater than what's on the outside. If you did not make me, you cannot define me. So that's how I see things. And also I stop worrying about things. Really worrying about things, because like you say, when you go to a quiet place, it means a success. And when I was focusing on my outer world, and my inner world broken. And I made a vow that moment that I don't want to go back to how I was feeling. And I felt that I needed to work on me, and I quit makeup. There are some clothes that I wore, I just burned them in my garden in the UK. I just created fire, and I was like, fire, fire, fire. If you go to my Facebook profile, I have a beautiful, beautiful dress. I think that dress cost about £500, but it shows all my boobies there. It shows everything. It's so beautiful. It shapes my body. But when I look at it, I was like, what the heck was I thinking? Do I really, really need to show my boobies to somebody, to the world, to show that, see that I'm beautiful? I was like, no. So I had to go to my wardrobe, Angie.
You did not burn it.
Huh?
You did not burn that dress.
I did burn everything. I even burnt my laptop.
That's a little bit, you know, OTT.
I just wanted, I had had enough of that life. I just wanted extremely, I bent my makeup, and I was like, I just want to look beautiful as I am.
Yeah.
I don't need to actually, for people to affirm that I'm beautiful. I don't need to spend 3 hours getting dressed, you know what, making sure my eyelashes poking and all these things. When you go out, you still have to, you know, like we go out, we compare the cars that we drive to our friends. We compare the men we are dating. We compare.
Comparitis is the.
We compare houses. We compare everything. We compare everything to each other, and we don't live that true authenticity life. So I was like, this thing that I'm living is not the life that I want. And the life that I want, I'm going to live this life. If God blesses me with the different lives, I'm open to it, but I need to be authentic. And sometimes when I walk in the office, I hear the guys, they're like, no, so when I'm not there, people they know that I'm not there, because I don't fake it. I talk to people, I smile at people, and it's real. It's not that some positive, the power of some positivity. It's just working, you know, Angie, when you work on the inside of you, the beauty about it is everything you see in the world is a success.
Yeah, and it's colourful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's beauty.
When you're not, and that I loved how you brought the comparitis out, because when you're not in love with yourself, and I don't mean that as in a, oh, look at me, I'm amazing.
No.
When you truly love yourself, like you was talking about.
Yeah.
Everything is beautiful. You stop comparing.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been in that comparitis, and
yeah,
it's just, we pick it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you do that inner work and you love yourself for who you are,
I
you
just
don't
accept
need
it.
any of that.
Yeah.
And I have done what you've done, but a little bit different. I didn't go burning my stuff. I've got 2 big double wardrobes with drawers.
Yeah.
And 2 single wardrobes.
Yeah.
Because I've got Schreiber wardrobes around my bed.
Okay.
So when my ex-husband left, I filled them with my stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I was just buying stuff for the hell of it. Oh, I like that, blah, blah.
And you're not wearing it.
I'd spend hours getting ready, go out, see somebody else looking better, and then I'd feel like crap. And
you feel like shit.
Yeah. And then I'd come home and look like a bag of nails anyway. What was the point of me spending all them hours getting ready? Whereas now I don't. It takes me half an hour and I'll dry my hair, might put a bit of eyelash on, you know, mascara on. But that's about it. But what I decided to do when I was going through I call it transition. It's like, you know, the butterfly. And I decided, right, I need to empty these wardrobes because they're full of crap, most of it, that I can't wear. In fact, actually, I found stuff that's size 8. I am never going to get in that crap again. What the hell are you saving it for? Stop beating yourself up. Yes, you've had a child and you've now got hips and you've got a bum. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Own it. And I actually decided to empty them, and I just went to the charity shop, and the lady was like, but this has still got tags on it and stuff. And I was like, and I had somebody turning around and saying, oh, I'd sell that on eBay, you might make some money. And I went, how about give back to somebody that hasn't got much? I don't need any more. I'm okay with what I've got. My daughter, she looks at me and she's like, Mum, you look like a tramp sometimes. And I was like, cool. You know, she was like, you look like a hippie. And I was like, have you seen my car? It's a camper car. You know, I've got my camping trousers on and I'm in my comfies. I'm happy like this. I don't need stiletto heels and a skirt and a night. I remember when I used to go to the events and I'd wear a dress and these nice shoes and this, that, and the other. And I'd spend half of the day feeling uncomfortable because I couldn't walk in the pissing shoes and the dress.
I love my heels. I love my heels.
No, I'm a flat shoe person. I went to an event not long ago and I put heels on because I wanted to feel tall. In the end, I took the freaking things off. And I was on stage and I went up with no on my feet. I was like, no, that's me. I like walking around with bare feet. Thank you very much.
I got to Clark's. I don't really wear the expensive high heels that I go out with because those ones are not comfortable. But I go to Clark's and get really nice high heels for £100. They are so comfortable. You could wear them 2 days without taking them off. Yeah. So I wear them. They're like high. Even when I'm on stage, I'm just walking. I'm feeling good. I can run in them. If I'm running, like if I'm taking a train, like going to London, if I'm late, I can just run. I love my heels. So those are the things that I've not given up. I love my heels. I love my clothes. Really nice clothes. I love it. But I have to make sure that I don't, for a man to be able to, I have to keep men guessing what's inside here. So that's what I've learned. Yeah, no, instead of showing it off.
Yeah, so when you have a present, you've got to unwrap it.
Yeah.
You just give somebody a present like that, they have to unwrap it. It's the whole point. And it's the same with us. You know,
so that's what I do, Angie, because otherwise life is too short. You know, you just have to do what makes you happy. And also it's like when I see my daughter, like she does what she does, when I talk to her, she's like, Mommy, go pray for me. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you have to go out like that with showing your boobies out? I'm like, oh, this is what I used to do. Okay.
Yeah, I can't say anything. You know, I've tried to take summer, you know, cover up a little bit, but I've not said it to her. Sometimes I think it, and then I think she's got to learn her own way.
Yes, I tell my daughter that you just buy clothes that cover up, because when you come back, you have a cold. And because I used to do it myself, I would just go out and in the freezing cold, and I'm wearing the clothes that are really cold. When I get home, I'm on my own and all the fun is gone, then I feel the cold. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's amazing how we do things, and you know, we have to create the habits that be creating our own lives based on us, who we are, not who we've seen on social media. And you know, success, reinforcing positive success, it means you have to be authentic. You have to wear your authentic coat. You have to be real, true to yourself. And you don't have, because in our society where the life that we live, so we are told how to live. Like Jesus himself in the Bible, he says, come as you are. But then we have these people that tell us how we should behave when it comes to life, how we should do things and things
what
like
to
that.
Wear.
And we start worrying about being judged by people. For me, I just live my life. Take it as I am. If you don't like it, I just you have to do what's right for you. And also don't think that you have to know everything. There are some people that believe that asking for help, it means you are defeated. You are not. And I've learned that the hard way, that if you want to succeed in life, You have to choose your friends.
Yep.
You have to live in a good environment who you're surrounded, your surroundings. And also you have to be authentic, and you have to hold the pen and use my slogan that what's on the inside of me is greater than what's on the outside. And if you didn't make me, you cannot define me. My creator sees me enough. If you believe that I'm not enough for you, I am enough for me. Those are the things that I actually decided that this is the person that I am going to become. And in order to become the person that you want to become, it comes with a price. People may not like the person that you're becoming, but that's okay.
That's okay. Bye.
Unapologetic.
I never thought I would say something like that years ago. You know, when I was really struggling mentally, it was like I was collecting people but then as I started to grow and started start to spread my wings and starting to love myself,
Yeah.
and then looking at other people, I was just like, actually, it's not a case of I'm better than you, but I want to go in a certain direction, and it's so important to have the right people around you,
Yeah.
and be yourself. And if you don't fit in that cube that they're trying to put you in, say bye. It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Yeah, I used to look at all my friends. Where were all my friends when I were really struggling? When I literally hit the floor, you know, I would be out every single weekend. And no wonder I was so skint and in debt. I was spending at least £100 a night. Easy. And I'd buy a lot of people drinks. And then when I stopped going out, where were the text messages? Where were the messages saying, where have you? We haven't seen you for a month or a couple of weeks. Are you okay? Where were they? They were nowhere to be seen.
Because they're fake friends. They're not real.
Absolutely. But the people that loved me and were really real people right by my side saying, we've got you. Don't worry. We've got you. And certain people are still in my life from them days. Some are not. And that's okay. You know, sometimes you have to shed a bit of baggage.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, I've loved this chat, Namsa.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I love the topic, Angie. It's just been amazing. And I love that you brought up the thing of looking at your inner world instead of outer world. I think that is amazing. And, you know, the choices that we make in life, they define who we are, who we become. And also, you just have to you have to do things that makes you happy when it comes to life, and learn the skills of life. Life is a game, but it requires, I love that, skills.
Do you, because everybody else has taken.
Yeah. Life requires you to learn the game of life. I teach my children all those things that, you know what, the game of life is not easy. You have to learn to fit the puzzles. Sometimes you may try to put the puzzles in a certain place. It might not go in. It doesn't mean you have to give up. You have to keep going until you get there.
Love it.
Yeah. So Angie, anyone who is watching and they don't know who you are, would you like to tell our audience the words of encouragement and who you are and where they can find you, please?
Well, the words of encouragement was that last one, I suppose. Do that inner work and let the outer world do what it wants. Just focus on you. Focus on you and do you, because everybody else has taken. Stop. Don't compare yourself. You can't compare an apple with a potato. Two totally different things, and so are you and everybody else. So hi, my name's Angie Simmons. I'm a personal development and mental wellness mentor. By turning my mental mess into my message, I inspire and empower and support women who are on a mission to change the circumstances, to help them gain that self-love and confidence to push forward and achieve what they want. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find me as Growth Development Foundation, www.growthdevelopmentfoundation.co.uk. So thank you very much, Namsa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angie. My words of encouragement is what I've said before, that don't let people define who you are as a person, and also know that when people are judging you or they look at you and they say you're not good enough, and just tell them, if you didn't make me, you cannot define me, and hold the pen, write your own story. Just write the story of success. Surround yourself with people that have done it and learn from them, and implement. Don't just be a follower. Don't just follow Ngozi talk shows. Learn how we do things and find your own voice. Be the leader in your own life. Lead from within. So we are here at Ngozi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Be part of the family. If you're watching us on Facebook, join Ngozi Talk Shows group and Unique Billionaire Mindset group, and like our page at Ngozi Talk Shows on Facebook, and give us some stars as well. It will help us to reach more people in our community. And I am your love harmonist. Live with grace, everyone, and God bless. And hi, my brother. I can see my brother is watching us. And hi, Kiki Brown. Lovely, lovely people by LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and